My name is Stephanie Dye. I'm from Fremont, California, but I've been in LA for almost 10 years. And I freelance as a dancer, choreographer, and teacher. I think equipping is the right word, where I feel so much more confident and knowledgeable in what exactly is happening with my body, instead of almost throwing things at a wall and trying to see if they stick, but now understanding, oh, these are the patterns that my body is so used to, and this is how to get out of it, and this is how to retrain it. So I feel much more with agency when it comes to healing from past injuries and surgeries. And that makes me feel very good because it's when I step out of the office too, I'm able to, throughout the day, know what's happening and knowing how to correct things, instead of, it's only when I have that hour in session. But this is a forever thing for myself. So yeah. So my journey and transition from dancer to more choreographer was kind of by virtue of having injuries and the likes. So growing up, I always knew that I was going to be a dance performer, and that was what I was training towards. And throughout college, that was my main focus. But in college, I was experiencing a lot of hip, leg pain, realizing I had some congenital bone issues. And that's when I realized, okay, I need to be more conservative with this performance stream. Luckily, I was still able to perform, and I'm still performing, but kind of adapting and figuring out, okay, how can I still express my desire for movement and creativity in a way that still protects my body in the long run? Hence my transition into choreography and being more in the director role, which a silver lining has been, I don't think I would have done that had I not been injured. So I'm very grateful in that sense of, it does kind of force your hand into doing things you wouldn't expect to do. So in a way, that's been this interweaving between career trajectory, but also just relationship with my body. So it's interesting. So in regards to past injuries and surgeries, in college, I discovered I had an extra bone in my right ankle. I had that surgically removed, but I didn't recover well. As any young athlete, you go into movement way too soon. So a lot of damage was done to my post-hip tendon, and had to get another surgery to basically reconstruct it. In the midst of all of that, I was experiencing hip discomfort and feeling like my right leg was just not stacked and aligned correctly. Found out I had dysplasia in both hips, torn labrum, and kind of a bone impingement or bone growth. So I had to get a few surgeries to fix dysplasia and all of the associated mumbo jumbo messy stuff in the hip. And that's been a really interesting journey of trying to fix multiple things at once that are influencing each other on my right side. And I did the classic route of PT, but it was very topical or very surface level PT, where I was so ingrained through dance, the patterning of how to compensate this right side that wasn't on par with my left. So on paper, the exercises made sense, but I was so deep in the woods of compensation that through HealthFit and through manual therapy, very knowledgeable massage therapists, understanding, okay, it's going to take a lot of detangling to get out of it. So it feels good to finally start getting that mess sorted. Yeah. My relationship with, I think, listening to my body and when it speaks through pain has really changed. Before, I saw my body as just a vehicle or a means to an end with the dancing and just life in general. But now I had someone say this, and I really believe in it, and I think it's lovely, of your body's your wife. So if my body and my wife is telling me, oh, I'm in pain, I can't just ignore it. I have to be like, okay, so this is kind of like a maintenance light in my car. What do I need to tune up or see what's causing this maintenance light to turn on in order to avoid future grief? And our bodies are our most important thing. I'm realizing. So in relation to other dancers that I work with or dancers that I teach, I really emphasize that in a way, we're very lucky to feel pain because it's telling us something that we can fix and take care of instead of something that will blindside us. So really trying to nip things in the bud when we feel that, okay, something doesn't feel right, instead of, oh, let me push through, or let me just take a lot of Tylenol and maybe some sleep will help, but really going down to, okay, what's causing this? How can I adapt and adjust to make sure I'm taking care of my body? My first experience with Dr. Shaina was just feeling really seen in what I was experiencing with my body, of having a whole laundry list of, oh, my hip feels like this, but when I do this, it doesn't help. But I've been told doing this will help. So it was very affirming to know that Shaina was listening to what was happening, but she also had explanations of, oh, this is likely because of this. And having that knowledge made me feel like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, there's a reason why my body feels this way. And then from there, being able to diagnose and treat these little things that I had in my laundry list. So that was very helpful. With previous therapists, they were working from, or it felt like they were working from, a one-size-fits-all model. So I didn't always feel affirmed or listened to when I was trying to explain very specific problems that I was having, where it felt, yeah, very generic of, oh, just do these lunges or squats, just trust the process and it'll be better. But after a while being like, I don't think that's actually working. Whereas with Dr. Shaina, just the level of detail and depth of knowledge she has, it does feel very tailored, where even today I came in and I brought up an exercise we were doing and being like, I still can't feel, I think, what I'm supposed to feel. And she was like, okay, great, let's try something else. So she broke it down even further to really get the most basic cue from my body. And that's when things clicked of, okay, someone had to pare it down really far for me. And that reflects the level of listening that I don't think I got from previous therapists. One of the biggest takeaways working with Dr. Shaina has been to always push in terms of really wanting to find out what's happening with my body and not just accepting things as they are. But she's been very helpful in encouraging this curiosity about, I know it should feel this way, but it's not. So what exactly is happening? So I feel very encouraged of, as I continue to heal and as I continue to run into questions or other issues, to keep pursuing them, try to find answers instead of just accepting, oh, I'm always going to be in pain, or my body's just always going to be less than ideal. So that's been very, very helpful. Oh, 100%. Just with my own PT journey and this mindset that I have of curiosity towards finding those answers really influences how I teach my dancers. If they're struggling with their own kind of roadblocks or frustrations with their technique, really encouraging them to understand their own bodies and figure out, oh, do you know why maybe you keep falling out of this turn, or why you're feeling a lot of pain in your right hip? Oh, it might be because of XYZ, or encouraging them to do their own research and have their own curiosity towards their own body in betterment of their artistry, but also for their own health of their bodies. Yeah. A type of hope to whatever not ideal situation I'm in, where on the physical level, for so long I just accepted, oh, my body's just going to be in pain all the time. But now having that hope of, okay, it's not going to be perfect just by virtue of all my surgeries, but it's gone so much better. And now I have that hope of, oh, I can still fight for that optimization that Dr. Shaina has helped with, of every day can get better. And I think that does translate into career and other aspects of life of, okay, I might not be a full-time dance performer as I expected, but there's still hope and adaptation and other ways I can express that creativity and love for dance, hence choreography, and pursuing that and having a lot of excitement about it instead of a disappointment of, oh, I can't be involved in dance in any way. So this idea of hope in adaptability and growth instead of, oh, this is this is kind of my peak or a stagnation. Yeah. Yeah, for someone who feels stuck and they feel like they can't progress or get past a level of pain, there is a validity to feeling that way because it can get very discouraging when it's chronic and you lived with it so long. So your brain almost kind of shuts it out too, it becomes so used to it. So I say, A, it's valid to feel that way. But B, there's also a level of, I don't know how to say it, but like fighting for yourself or advocating for yourself, of knowing that you don't deserve to be in this pain, that there must be, just some other alternative. I think just having that mindset of, oh, there's other options and I don't have to live like how I've been living is already a great foundational step to take of, okay, and that's when I can understand there's possibilities, and that's when I can start seeking treatment or making changes or just experiment with what can help and what can't help. Yeah, that's also another reason why I love HealthFit, where it's not just Dr. Shaina and the therapist, but I think collectively feeling very safe and welcomed here, where there's a lot of light and excitement in seeing each other and just creating a space for excitement for growth and healing to happen. And they're very kind whenever I have to cancel an appointment. That's always something that stuck out. It's like, thank you, my schedule's a bit unpredictable. So I appreciate that sensation of like, all right, everything's very flexible here. And at the end of the day, everyone here wants the clients to get better. And I think that's very important. Yeah, I definitely had some skepticism coming in. I think just by virtue of having past PT experiences that weren't ideal, I was a little bit apprehensive and protective of, oh, is that experience going to repeat? And something that I realized too with the PT journey, a lot of it is so mental. When you go into PT every day and it's not a great session, it really wears down on you of, oh, I'm failing, or no one understands what's happening with my body. And that becomes a loop, and that discourages you from coming into PT even more. So I think I was very lucky, and I'm very grateful that that wasn't my situation here, where starting from the first session, I felt seen. I felt that Dr. Shaina was so knowledgeable and was understanding what was happening with my body, where I didn't have that kind of subconscious defensiveness or wariness, but being like, okay, I can trust this person and they know what they are doing. So yeah. For those who have had poor experiences with PT in the past, or are just apprehensive in general, been burned too many times, I feel like it's dating. And continuing the analogy, your body's your wife, of, oh, I really want to have a healthy marriage with my wife. I want to find my wife. Yeah, you're going to have some interesting dating experiences. You're going to find a PT that isn't the right match or the right fit. But that doesn't mean that you stop looking altogether. And that's not to say, you can cut this out, but that's not to say if you come to HealthFit, you're going to find your PT match. I think you will, but it's a matter of, you have to put yourself out there and to really push to find the answers that you want in order to find that correct match. I'm realizing now that I've heard this before, but now I get it. Always seek out more than one PT at the get-go, in order to get multiple opinions and being like, okay, this is the PT that I want to quote unquote date for my healing journey. Yeah. I think it is in line with what was said before, but I'll repackage it and hopefully offer more conciseness to it. The biggest takeaway is to be my own advocate when it comes to my own recovery journey, to not throw in the towel when progress is slow or things are difficult. It's a lot of what we're working on takes so much time, and having grace on myself of, right, I spent 20 plus years in a certain way of moving my body and movement patterns. It's not going to take a few weeks to reverse all that. So the biggest takeaway is to be excited that, oh, there's so much ahead of me in terms of the healing, instead of getting discouraged of, like you said, oh, this is just how it is, I just have to accept it. But being like, oh, right, there's so much I can do. I have so much agency. And I need to do it with people because they have the knowledge and the encouragement and the expertise. So that's been great. Yeah, don't isolate yourself and wallow, but really put yourself out there and take agency with what you have.
Hey, if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for our latest tips coming to you every week. Share this video with your family and friends. It might just make their day a little bit better. I'll see you soon.